everybody, welcome back to Social Life and Peel. My name's Jacqueline, and today we are talking to Irina, who's going to tell us about how our minds are directly connected to our weight and our bodies. Hi Irina, how are you?
Hi Jacqueline. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So let's start off with telling us about yourself and what it is you do.
Yep. Well, I do hypnosis. I'm a psychologist, but for the last 11 years I dedicated to helping people in losing weight, stopping smoking with no cravings, helping people to let go of the anxieties, fears, phobias, working with kids, working with women. But my passion is to help women to let go of weight. I don't like the word lose weight, because anything that we're losing, we're trying to find, because the subconscious mind takes things literally. So whatever you lose, you will look for it until you find it. And that's what happens with the dieting. So my passion really to help women to understand the reasons why we are gaining weight in the first place, and helping people stop emotional eating. Number one reason why people gaining weight in the first place.
Great. So one thing that you talk about a lot is how our mindset directly affects our bodies and how we gain weight and how we view food. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Sure. I believe that there are three major reasons why people gaining weight in the first place. And the reason number one is dieting, because any diet is a perfect setup for failure. First of all, because you cannot live on it. Diet is just a temporary measure. No diet can change the way you look at food.
Right.
No diet can stop emotional eating. And emotional eating is number one reason why people gaining weight. 80%, in my opinion, 80% of weight gain caused by emotional eating. Eating to comfort yourself, eating for any other reasons except of physical hunger.
Right.
I actually calculated 32 reasons why people eating. Eating to make yourself feel good. When you feel stressed, anxious, worrisome, doubtful, fearful, angry, upset, to reward yourself, just because you want to gym, just because we're celebrating to the special occasion. But really, the only one reason why we supposed to eat is physical hunger. And that's how we were born. You eat when you're physically hungry, you stop when you're comfortably full. So I'm helping people to go back to their normal eating habits and releasing that emotional eating. So that's how mind affects. Subconscious mind operates with emotions. And so emotional eating coming from subconscious mind. You cannot stop subconscious mind. You cannot stop emotion. In a struggle between the willpower and emotion, emotion always wins. Because subconscious mind holds 97% of brain capacity.
Right.
So you can only control short period of time, and then you stop dieting and you gain twice as much weight.
Right. So if we're working with our emotions and off of things like that, how do we train our brain to start thinking differently? What are some tips that people can do to try and stop that emotional eating? Yeah,
you can do a lot. In my sessions, it usually takes 3 sessions to actually reprogram the mind and change your eating habits for life. So instead of looking at a food as a source of comfort or reward, my clients start looking at a food as a source of a fuel. It's a fuel for a body, and just like slim and naturally thin people do. You know, they're looking at a food as a source, as a fuel, and they eat when they're hungry and stop when they're full. I'm working on releasing those emotions and empowering people in training them to do how to practice and use self-hypnosis to change this relationship with food. Because the relationship with food being hardwired in the brain. Because that link between the center of the fullness and the center of the hunger, we were born with them. And those two parts of those are two parts of the hypothalamus. So we were born with them linked together. So what happens with the diet, when you stop paying attention to the center of fullness, then you will to the center of hunger. So because you're saying to your body, no, I want to eat right now. No, you aren't going to eat. Because you're going to eat 5 calories, 10 calories, you're going to eat 5 hours later. So you stop paying attention. I call it, when you stop respecting your hunger, you can never get full. Because those two centers are linked. So basically you're not paying attention to hunger, and you're not eating when you physically feel hungry. You will never stop, because you will never feel full.
Right. And so what about those situations, and I'm sure we've all been there, when you go grab the bag of chips or whatever it is, and you take a couple, and then next thing you know, you put your hand back in the bag and they're all gone, and you don't even realize what's happened until the damage is done. How can you prevent yourself from getting to situations like that?
Okay, I've developed I call this 3 things that you should never do.
Okay.
You should never take any negative thought or feeling for granted. That's a mental discipline. We haven't been trained in this because we never realized yet. We haven't realized yet how much emotions affecting our lives. And I can see it right now in the children, because I work with a lot of children that are developing all kinds of from eating problems to anxieties, worries, and fears. And 10 years ago, I wouldn't have a child of 8, 10 years old suffering with anxiety or sleeping deprivation, right? So never take negative emotion for granted. Always become aware of those negative feelings or thoughts, chronic ones, that you're dwelling on a regular basis, because your thoughts becoming your thoughts. And I noticed that emotional and mental heaviness always matches physical heaviness. Okay. So my thing is, whenever you become aware that you're dwelling on the negative, worrisome, fearful, doubtful, angry feeling or thoughts, stop. Okay. Stop, take a deep breath in, focus on your breathing. The moment you become aware of your breathing, your mind disconnected from that thought or feeling. And I will train my clients to do self-hypnosis and using the technique of letting go. You should never eat when you're emotionally distressed. Okay. So you first let go of the emotions, then you eat. Because this subconscious eating that you've mentioned, eating a big bag of popcorn in front of TV, and if I would put that bag of popcorn in front of you on the dinner table, you will never finish it. Exactly. It's subconscious eating. It's what we call hand-to-mouth action, right? So it has not been registered by your conscious mind, because your connection between stomach and your subconscious mind is not there, because your attention is somewhere else. Exactly. Right? That's very true. Never eat when you're emotionally disturbed, when you're emotional. And a third thing that you should never do, is never sleep with negative feelings and thoughts. Like when I came to Canada, I've heard this, I'm going to sleep on this. With the negative thoughts or feelings, when you feel stressed, when you feel anxious or worrisome, let go. Learn how to let go. Or they'll parlay into your mindset for the next day. Absolutely, because the last thought that goes into your mind is the first thought that you're going to think. Because subconscious mind takes thoughts literally and dwells on them. Great. Because it believes, that part of mind believes that whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're focusing on, is truly important, and it will create more of the same. So once people are able to overcome those obstacles and retrain their brain to think more positively about food, what kind of results will they see? Well, they come after first session and saying it's a miracle. I'm not craving sugary, salty, fattening stuff anymore. I forgot about going to McDonald's this week. I didn't even think about it. My husband offered me chips and I said, no, I'm gonna go and get an apple because it feels good. Because see, we never crave sugary or salty food. We crave the emotion that it gives us, a comfort. Once I teach the client how to get that comfort internally, from inside out, you don't want that food because you know what's going to happen, what's going to do to you. Right, so it becomes an instinctual response to eat healthier. Yeah. And why would something like this work better than, say, going on a diet or trying a new workout regime, things like that people typically go to lose weight? Besides the fact that you cannot live on a diet, and if anyone would show me the person who lives on a diet and looks good, I would be very surprised, because everybody's saying it's a struggle. I gain weight, I lose weight, it's a yo-yo thing. The more you're dieting, the more you're failing, because diets, I believe that diet is a perfect setup for failure. You cannot live on a diet. Okay. You have to deal with your emotions. And plus, diet creates something that I call an effect of a camel's hump. So the more we're dieting, the more body wants to store energy. Just like camels storing energy in the, on the back, in the water and minerals and stuff, we're storing it around the waist. Okay. Right? So the more you're dieting, the more body goes in starvation, the more your body says, oh, no, come on. I don't know when she's going to eat next time, so I'm gonna grab on those fat cells. I'm going to create them and hold on to them, because you never know what's going to happen. Right. So that's what dieting does for us. So a healthy way of working with this is what I call, you cannot change the fruits on the tree without changing the root of it. You have to go for the root. And your body image will change quite automatically. Well, that's so interesting. Thank you so much, Irina. That was great. All right, and we're going to go to a quick break, but be sure to stay tuned, because Daphne is going to take us on a fashion adventure. All this is more is coming up in Social Life and PL next.